Good evening, students. This is Algebra 4, and I want to give you a few minutes on the reteach. There's a few problems I would like to go over with you all. In lesson 12.1, we're looking at introduction to sequences, and I have three of the definitions that we're going to use here. A sequence is an ordered set of numbers. Each number is called a term of the sequence. And a recursive formula is a rule in which one or more previous numbers are used to generate the next term. So I want to spend a few minutes on showing you how to find the next consecutive terms in a sequence. So if you will look at number 1 on lesson 12.1 reteach page 6, number 1, the instructions says find the first 5 terms of each sequence. The first term is given, a sub 1. That 1 represents the term number. So a sub 1 is equal to -8. So it's almost like when we go back to grade school, when we put in a number, we get something out when we either add, subtract, multiply, divide. So when we put in the 1, the end result is a -8. So we know that for number 1, a sub 1 equals -8. Now there's a formula given here, and the formula says that a sub n is equal to a sub n minus 1 plus 3. Okay, now remember the n is the term number. So here, a sub n, we're looking at a sub 1, that's our n now, and it gives us -8. So the instructions, it says find the first 5 terms of each sequence, okay? So I'm going to set up a table for you. So we have our n, which is our term. Our formula, we have a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 plus 3, okay? And our outcome is our a sub n term. Now, when n is 1, it's already given to us that a sub 1 is -8. So here I'm going to say given. So we know a sub 1 is -8. Okay? So that first term under a sub n, I'm going to write -8. Now, they want the first 5 terms, right? So the second term, I'm looking at a sub 2. So where n is 2. Okay? So I'm going to replace all my n's with the number 2. So I have a sub 2 equals a sub 2 minus 1 plus 3. Okay? Now we all know that 2 minus 1 is 1. So now I'm looking at a sub 1 plus 3. Okay? Now a sub 1 is given to be -8. Oh, I made a mistake there. I left off my negative sign there. A sub 1 is given to be -8. So now I'm looking at -8 plus 3, okay? Which yields -8 plus 3, we have -5. So a sub 2 would give us -5, okay? Very simple now, very simple, all right? Now, to find a sub 3, replace n with 3. We replace n with 3. So now I'm looking at a sub 3 equals a sub 3 minus 1 plus 3. Replace the n with 3. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So now I'm looking at a sub 2 plus 3. A sub 2 yields -5. So we have -5 plus 3. -5 plus 3 is -2. So now we know when n is 3, our result would be -2. Okay? It would be -2. Next, we want to go to n sub 4. Okay, n sub 4. So I have 4, and that gives me, I'm looking at a sub 4 equals a sub 4 minus 1 plus 3. 4 minus 1 is 3. So I'm looking at a sub 3 plus 3. A sub 3 gives us negative 2. Negative 2 plus 3. 3 minus 2, or negative 2 plus 3, will give us negative 1. So when n is 4, our end result is 1. Our end result is 1. Okay? Hope you guys are getting this. It's very easy. Now, the last one is we want to find that fifth term. So 5. So we want to find a sub 5. Okay? So a sub 5, I'm looking at a sub 5 equals a sub 5 minus 1 plus 3. And that gives us 5 minus 1 is 4. So a sub 4 plus 3. A sub 4 gives us 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. So now we have our first 5 terms of this sequence. Okay? Our first 5 terms of this sequence. So that's number 1. Now, if you notice, class, in order to get the second term, you would take the a sub n of the previous term. So a sub 1 was given to be negative 8. So here we just replace this a sub 2 minus 1. We can just replace with negative 8 because 2 minus 1 is 1, which is a sub 1. So negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5. So a sub 2 is negative 5. When we go to negative 3, we replace a sub 3 minus 1 with negative 5 plus 3, negative 2. Okay? And so on. All right. So now let's look at another example. Okay. The next example, number 2. Let me erase this here. So I'm looking at number 2, which the number 2, a sub 1 is 2. Okay. In our recursive formula, I'm looking at negative 5 times a sub n minus 1. Okay. So I have negative 5 times a sub n minus 1. Okay. So let me erase this here. Now we're going to go through this one a little quicker. So be sure you're paying attention to this. Okay. Now, so a sub 1 is given to be 2. Okay. So I have my 2 here. My outcome is 2. Okay. Now to find a sub 2, I'm going to have negative 5 times, now a sub n minus 1, 2 minus 1 is 1. So a sub 1 is 2. So it's going to be negative 5 times 2. And negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. So a sub 2 is negative 10. Okay. Let me bring this down some here. Sorry about that. So negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. So a sub 2 gives us negative 10. So to go to a sub 3, I'm going to multiply negative 5 times the negative 10. Okay? Negative 5 times negative 10. And that gives us a positive 50. So a sub 3 gives us a positive 50. A sub 4, I'm looking at negative 5 times 50. Okay, negative 5 times 50. Negative 5 times 50. We're looking at negative 250. So a sub 4 is negative 250. Okay? And then the last one, we're looking at a sub 5. So we're looking at -5 times -250. Okay. And here we're looking at a positive 1,250. Oh, so a sub 5 is 1,250. Okay. So what you're doing here really is multiplying this recursive formula by the previous a sub n. You may have to add or subtract whichever is given there. Okay. So this is number 2. All right. This is number 2. So we're going to look at 2 more examples on this lesson. Okay. 2 more examples. So let's go to number 3. So let me erase this here. I hope you guys are safe. We miss you all at Southwest Leadership Academy. I had a chance to talk to some of your parents and said you were doing your assignments, which is great. And I hope that we will see you all soon in person. Until then, I want you to be safe, do what's right, do your algebra work, and all your other classes. Now, the next problem, number 3, a sub 1 is to be given as 6. So a sub 1 is 6. Now, the recursive formula here is 2 times a sub n minus 1 minus 1. So looking at 2 times a sub n minus 1 minus 1. Okay? A sub 1 is given to be 6. Okay? So here, to find a sub 2, we're going to look at the outcome when a is 1, and that is 6. So it becomes 2 times 6 minus 1. Okay? 2 times 6 minus 1. 2 times 6 is 12. 12 minus 1 is 11. So a sub 2 is 11. Okay? Now to find a sub 3, we're going to replace that a sub n minus 1 with 11. So now it becomes 2 times 11 minus 1. 2 times 11 is 22. 22 minus 1 will give us 21. So a sub 3 is 21. Okay? 21. A sub 4. A sub 4, we're looking at 2 times 21 minus 1. 2 times 21 is 42. So we have 42 minus 1, which will give us 41. So a sub 4 is 41. Okay? A sub 5, we're going to look at the 41, use that. So we're looking at 2 times 41 minus 1. I'm going to squeeze that in there. 2 times 41 is 82. Okay? 82. 82 minus 1 is 81. So now we found the first 5 terms of this recursive formula, 2 times a sub n minus 1 minus 1. So we want to multiply 2 times this here, this term, okay, this term, that binomial, I would call it, okay? So that's number 3, okay? That is number 3. Now, I think you have enough information here where you can complete your assignment. Okay. By all means, I've left my cell phone number with your parents. So by all means, if you have any questions, please feel free to call me and I will be able to walk you through it. But I think with the reteach and with the 3 examples I've been able to give you here, I won't be able to do the 4th one, but the 3 examples I've given you, I think you will understand how to do it. Okay. So Until I see you all, be careful, take care of yourselves, and just know that Mr. Connor, as well as all the other teachers, we miss you all. Be safe.